Oh, hey, y'all. Got a half minute in here. This here's Howie Ferguson hanging out here to talk to you about Hydrastik oil. Hydrastik. Hydraulic. HYDAWLIK. Hydraulic. Oil. Yeah, oil. Come on, get it right. Dang Yankees. Look, some of the stuff I learned over all them dang years I've been working, and you're going to see it backwards. Yeah, because I can't do it any other way right now. So, take a look at what we got here. I'm going to read you the list. Now, the first one here, well, dad burn it, especially down there you get Louisiana and you get screwing around the bayou. You never know what's going to happen there. It'd be 32 degree overnight, and then during the day go up to 100. So what you got? Well, you got all that water in the air. It go in and out of the tank because the temperature goes up and down. Shoot, you get contamination from water. What's water do? Well, water does all kind of funky things. If you don't run your thing that often, you know, whatever thing you happen to have out there hanging in the back 40, back 20, or the back 50 feet, whatever you got. Well, water get in there and sit there in that dadgum reservoir. And you say, but I don't run it that often. That's the problem, jackweed. Yeah. Why? Because you get water in there, and then the moisture starts getting in and hanging around. That's how the water gets in the oil half time anyway. What's it do? It rusts that tank. Well, now what do you got? Especially you got dang log splitter or something small out there. Come on. What's it do? You ain't got no screen in there, do you? You forgot to put a pickup screen in that tank, and it don't matter. That rust hits that, it breaks up, and rust goes through your dang pump. What you got now? You just wore part of your pump out. Yeah, maybe you were thinking it'd go 5 years, maybe 10. It ain't going there now. Water makes rust. What's rust? Rust just goes into the next one. You know what that category is right there? That there's called crap. Well, it's what we blanky Yankees call it up here in the farm country anyway. But let's get through with water. What's another thing water does? No, water's, like I just said, water's a carrier of crap. And it creates crap. It rots stuff. It etches stuff. It causes corrosion when stuff hits other materials other than steel. What a mess. Well, to steam clean your dang parts, that's what it'll do. You say, how in the world? No, just shop. Listen a minute, man. Y'all ain't got a clue yet. Just listen. Steam clean. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you hammer water under pressure. What do you got? Heat and steam. Isn't that genius? Especially in the oil, it'll separate it anyway. It turns it into a gas pocket. Now what you got? You got same thing as if you had air in oil. You got making noise and banging around, doing all kind of things. And there again, rust and corrosion. You shut that puppy off, and man, you're thinking, I done myself a good job. I'll cover that puppy up. Well, you done good, except one problem. You got water in your oil. What's that do? Sits there in that hydraulic pump. Them little bushings in there got bronze in them. They're all so pretty. Oh, yeah. Brass, bronze, whatever metal that company chose. Guess what do? Yeah. Not so much bronze, but brass, oh, yeah. Starts eating away at it. You don't have a bushing in no more. That's right. And then it gets in there and separates the two. Oh, what a joy. You fire that up, and then you might hear it. And it's all over. What's the other one? You got too much water in there. Water starts separating. Well, guess what? Got yourself a steam pocket, and you got yourself all full of water. So what you got? You ain't got no lube in there. Them bearings and gears and pistons and whatever your pump's made of, got to have that dang lube in there. Ain't got it no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Southern Tier Edition, New York State. You heard that right. What's the next one? Well, I'll go right into crap. Some of you think of something else with water. Yeah, you can. You can come up with a ton of things with water. But the only thing with water is it can make acid in your oil. It can make base in your oil. Your alkaline. Either way, depending on what you got in your oil for your oil package. Maybe you're one of them crazy coyotes. You dumped in some Dextron over here. A little bit of, got a short, so you dumped in a little 10W30 over there. And what'd you originally put in there? You might have put in there some AW46 or AW32. Maybe it's crazy. You dumped in that high tran oil that works for both. And now you got all kind of oil in there with different oil stuff in each one. They call it a package. Yeah, you leave my package alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I call it stuff. Well, stuff fits in a lot of places too. So let's get out of that. We go to the other one. There, crap. Let's get into crap. What's crap got? Crap is abrasive. We just talked about rust. Then you can talk about the little brass pieces that breaking off and floating through the thing. Yeah, and you see, well, it rotted it. It rotted it. Now you got smaller pieces in there the filter can't catch. Let me tell you, that's a joy for you. I don't care. Not my problem. I just put a new filter on my log splitter. You go figure that. And my Cub Cadet Hydrastik. You know what I'm talking about. What, you didn't put a filter on your system? That's okay. It don't matter. Not a log splitter. Little Cub Cadet, that's a problem. Yeah, trust me, that's a problem. But some other simple stuff, it don't matter. As long as you change the oil. Now, what else it do? You got crap in there, it's abrasive. It starts tearing things apart. What else it do? Oh, let me tell you, it's not just abrasive wearing things out. Sometimes the pieces are big enough, it galls them. You know, like Aunt Maisie when you busted her fence out there playing softball at the family reunion. Let me tell you, that galled her. Yeah, well, them valves and gears and such, they get galled. And what's that mean? That means it starts rolling the metal up. Especially if you got aluminum with metal. One of them's turning. Oh, that just rolls it right up there. Oh, let me tell you, you'll be galled when you have to pay the price. What's the next one? Plugging. All that stuff keeps busting loose. Well, where's it going to go? Yeah, you say, well, go to filter, catch there, no problem. Yeah, until you get too much of it. Then what happened? Most of them filters have bypass in there, and you ain't got no filter. The bypass is for stone cold weather. Yeah, and the filter's too much until it gets warmed up, and then that valve closes, and now your oil's filtered. Yeah, you plug that dang filter, see what happens to you. You hear what I'm talking about? You don't even have to completely plug the filter. You fire up in cold weather. It's spinning around in there, all that stuff. That valve's open. It's floating around. Your filter's still good, but it takes a little longer to close that dang valve. You hear me saying? Yeah, you hear him saying, Southern Tier Edition? You know what I'm saying. What's the next one? Degenerate the oil package. You get too much crap floating around in there and all them little neat chemicals they toss in that oil package. The stuff, all of a sudden it ain't the good stuff no more. And water's already ruined it up top there. And then you put more junk in there. Oh, man. What else that do? You know what that crap can do too? Yeah, the water and the crap. All them pretty little seals all through there. Them O-rings and the little backing plate seals in there that keeps the side plates on them gears and such going. And them piston pumps. Oh, them beautiful little axial piston pumps. They just got them slippers on the end there with them little ball joints there, and they go flying in and out thousands of times a minute. All them wear surfaces with all them little pieces flying through there. You know what else goes bad? You get a piece in there in the wrong place. There's a hole in the bottom of that there hollow piston. It goes all the way down to the ball joint. And it takes the boy side of the ball joint where there's a pinhole. It goes into the girl side of the ball joint on the slipper, and it plugs it. And you ain't got no lube in that ball joint no more. Now what you got? Oh, you got yourself a big problem, and you ain't even seen it yet. Oh, man. You'll hear it later, though. Oh, she's a honey when that happens, let me tell you. Your ears, it just cringe. You know something's wrong, but you don't know what it is. That little socket. Yeah, that boy and that girl. No. That fitting right there ain't a fitting no more, let me tell you. That 20 and 21-year-old that just got married, they ain't having no kids. They're going to have themselves a divorce shortly. Now, you degenerate your oil package, all that crap in there. That's what I'm talking about. You degenerate your oil package, all of a sudden you got more stuff and more junk in there than you got stuff. And then you got a problem. Because you got too much water and too much junk. And you got your filter half plugged and it's blowing the bypass valve. And it's going to take 15 minutes to close that valve rather than just 2 or 3. Oh, my goodness. Have you got yourself a problem? You see, well, what's that bypass valve for anyway? Well, so your dadgum pump doesn't end up cavitating. And if something's a little weak, it prevents it from aerating. They both sound the same. It's a bad, bad scene. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, it gives you that eerie sound. And you're just, whoa. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes what y'all hear is worse than what y'all know. And then the last one, your bad oil. Oh my goodness. Your components get wore out. Why? Well, the stuff is gone from their fancy package. So, and what happens then is if it's too old, that stuff they put in that there old package, guess what happened to it? It starts binding up together and doing funky things with all that water and other stuff floating through there. Oh yeah. Now what's it do? What used to be a good thing because you let it go too long is now a bad thing. What used to be maybe liquid lead or liquid moly or liquid copper that's go floating through there to help lubricate the system and to fill in all them little scratches and such that have been happening. Can't do that now because they all balled up. And now they're the problem. Oh, get caught in dad burn filter. Not yet. That filter ain't perfect. It's good, but it ain't perfect because if they build a perfect filter, it'd be bigger than the hydraulic tank. Just so you get the oil through it to the dadgum pump. You know what I'm saying? Because it has to go back to the tank and through the filter, which means that pump's working like a dog. Unless you're one of those who put it on the suction side, then you got yourself a hammering problem because it doggone well going to cavitate. Now, what else we got? Bad flow. Oh my goodness. Thick oil. You have an awesome problem with thick oil. Thick oil does that bad thing where if you did put a screen in your tank to be a good guy and you build it right, well, now you got a screen in there and you didn't change your dad burn oil, you idiot. So what happened? Water gets in there, it screws up the oil package, the stuff in there, then it screws up the oil viscosity improvers because quite often all them oils is multi-viscosity. You know what I'm saying? The lubricity in the oil, quite a few of them, they all have paraffin in them, just like your wax. Well, only different. Guess what it do? It separate from the oil because you got other crap in there. So now you got water to come out of it because you got too much in there. Now you got paraffin and other stuff coming out of your oil package, and what you got? You got nothing left but a naked oil that just come up out of the ground and got filtered and tossed in there. That's what you got. You hear what I'm saying, New York edition? That's right. The Southern Tier Cascade effect will be in place. When you go to buy that pump and replace it and you're crying like a little baby that just got his diaper loaded 3 hours ago and nobody changed it yet. You know what I'm saying, Poopy edition? You're going to be crying bad words for a while. Either that or you're going to be splitting wood by hand. You know what I'm saying? Change oil. Change your dadgum filter. If you don't have one, put one on there. Now, if you go online here's some funny things. They'll have flow rates and they'll have all these micron ratings and all this other fancy stuff on these filters. Oh, shoot. You know what you do? You walk down there to that crapper supply and you look at one of theirs and you see the filter and take a number off that thing. Or walk in the aisle there. We got all them parts on the shelf. Build your own log splitter. Oh, my goodness. You can build your own spitter. Well, you walk in there and take a look at the filter and pick that rascal up. Take a look at it. Tell you how many micron it is and tell you. You can even buy the package right there for it. Oil filter and head. Shoot. Remember one thing, though. I did it, and it was ugly. I built my system pretty doggone well. I only made one mistake, and it wasn't a bad one. It was just one of those. It's all I had. I put them pipes on there. Supposed to have 1 inch. I got some 3/4 in there. Fortunately for me, it's only in a short run like about that. Yeah. Well, I put that filter thing on backwards. The filter didn't have a bypass. The filter head did. All of a sudden, I got filters blowing left and right. Been on there 3 dang years. Never had a problem. All of a sudden, boof, boof, boof. Well, yeah, I didn't realize I went to a 10 micron instead of a 30. And let me tell you, it was almost 0 degrees outside. Yeah, I put a little thought into that puppy. Let me tell you, that 8-horse motor on there, I got a 5-horse pump on it. I can start that in some pretty dad-burn cold weather. Problem of it was, I think I just changed my oil and actually put all of one type oil in there. Standard Hytran, cheap stuff, but it's a log splitter. Almost running on vegetable oil without much trouble. So I didn't think much of it. Yeah, it thickened up pretty bad in the winter buying that cheap crap. It did. Had that filter head on so the bypass wasn't going to work. Oh, blowed that filter right off of there. You should have seen her. The old pump's back there going, ah! And I'm sitting there listening to the engine. And all of a sudden, boop, boop, all over the ground. I got me a 5-foot patch of nothing but slime in the snow. Oh, man, that took a long time. Why? Dadburn grounds froze. It didn't just soak in there. What a mess I had. Pull all apart, turn that filter head around, put the rat filter on there, fire that puppy up. Oh, the sweet sound of, you couldn't hear nothing but the engine. Oh, it's beautiful. Of course, a few years later, couldn't hear nothing but the engine either. That Dadburn muffler had about 4 holes in that thing. It'd stick my thumb right through there. Of course, you don't want to do that when it's running. You don't have much thumb coming out of there, will you? Well, anyway, this here's Hi Ferguson. I figured I could pop on here and talk to y'all from the southern tier of New York. Oh, yeah, we farm country here. Oh, we go. Yep. Appalachian's part of Owego is known as redneck country. Yankee rednecks. I know, take that with a shaker of salt. But same time, Owego is known as a rural farming community. We Appalachian, we a little dot in the middle of farming community. You know what I'm saying? You walk out in the backyard and you're thinking, oh, smell that fresh farming air. Yep. Yeah, they spreading that tank manure down the road again. Welcome to New York.